We are here in Ladakh, high up in the Himalayan mountains, on the Planet Local Summit. I have the great pleasure to sit here with Helena Norberg-Hodge, founder of the Global Localization Movement and
Director of Local Futures.
Director of Local Futures. Helena, local futures, localization. What does that mean to you?
To me, it means recovering our roots in real culture, and real culture evolved in different environments all around the world. That's why we had this amazing diversity of cultures. But we need to be aware that with modernity, increasingly, peoples all over the world are being shaped by an artificial, techno-economic system that's imposing an artificial consumer culture. It's being pushed on us from the top down, and it is about extracting profit to the top and impoverishing not only our cultures, our identities, but the real economy, the biodiversity, the life of the land that sustained us in our entire evolution. And we evolved in groups of people where we were interdependent with other people. We were never self-reliant. We were community-reliant. So now there is a rising awareness that this dominant economy is harmful to us, to our human well-being, our spiritual well-being, our relationships, and the land. And what we see around the world is that there is an intuitive turning towards recovering our identity in community and in connection with the land. And in my case, I became aware of this in Ladakh 50 years ago, because Ladakh was a culture that hadn't been affected by that modern system. And I found the happiest, healthiest people I had ever encountered. And then I saw step by step how this dominant economy was mad and so destructive. So ever since that time, I've been trying to raise awareness about that, and equally importantly, raising awareness about the fact that all around the world, millions, basically billions of people are still quite connected to their cultural heritage, to their communities, and to the land. But the dominant system is becoming more and more technological, and it had the right to create money out of thin air. So a lot of money is being used to push humanity further and further. One of the most fundamental changes is the destruction of farming, which basically means removing people from the land. And unfortunately, modern schooling has been part of that. And it has led to this pulling of people away from the land into bigger and bigger cities. And there, people are crowded on top of each other. They no longer have collaborative relationships, and they no longer have a connection to the land. So in understanding the global dominant economy and supporting something else, focusing on food and farming is one of the most important things we can do to better understand what's going on, but above all, also to do something about it. Because anything we can do today to help people stay on the land, to both recover the skills that were there and perhaps learn some new skills that support the health of nature, the real economy. And that means fundamentally it's about biodiversity. And of course, biodiversity was always linked to cultural diversity. So I'm so happy to be collaborating with you who are doing this wonderful work in Romania. Romania is also a hotspot in the world, with so much biodiversity still thriving, or at least still alive. And so I think the work you're doing there with ALPA is of fundamental importance. And I'm so happy that you were able to come to Ladakh, and not only to see the situation in Ladakh, but also to meet with people from about 25 different countries. And people are all working to try to both resuscitate and protect that live cultural richness. And it has all kinds of ramifications. One of them is about a deeper self-respect that's linked to cultural self-respect, not about individuals showing off I'm so important, but it's a very, very important shift because it's a path of reconnection, of feeling a part of something bigger than yourself, and it's so healing. So that is the economics of happiness, and we can give evidence from all around the world how that rebuilding of community and deep connections to the land, particularly with the practical skills of producing food, which has it resonates deeply in our DNA, because that's how we evolve. So we're seeing this remarkable healing that comes from that. And I just hope that in Romania we can share information, particularly from the West, because there is this illusion pushed by the global corporate system that leads people to think that America and the West is some kind of paradise. They really believe that there is no poverty. When in fact, I would say that the most abject poverty I have seen is in America. Even in India, people still have community. But in America, people are impoverished, and there are many millions of people. So we need to get the truth out about this illusion of the urban consumer culture. So there's so much work to do to try to do films, to also have face-to-face exchanges so we can have deeper conversation. And I really hope that we'll be able to collaborate, Local Futures and ALPA, in this work. The time is right, and as Lars has said at our summit, what we want is local futures, and we want it now.
Thank you
Is
so
that right?
much, Helena.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
You
And
sure?
Yeah.
Oh.
For us, it's so important as being a local project
Yeah.
on the ground in Transylvania
Yeah.
to be recognized by the global localization movement, to be part of it, to collaborate. It gives us more strength, it gives us hope, and we are so ready to collaborate more and to strengthen also the localization movement in Romania.
Oh.
So thank you very much for the invitation to this summit, and we will happily return and go back to work.
Thank you so much.